Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Out of the Park Baseball 21, episode number 27. We're in the off season. I've moved forward a few weeks from where we were and trying to keep things moving along. First off, personnel filled out. We've got every coach hired for the season. I've also found and altered some of the budgets, like our international free agency money and whatnot. Been able to apply a little more money into those areas, so we might be able to bring in some players. And then now we're into free agency. Arbitration went our way. We won every single case, which was only 3 to begin with, but still good. We saved a little bit of money there. Finances are really, really strong at this point in time, and we have $30 million that we could spend on free agents. Problem is, this is all there is on the free agency market this season. It's a barren wasteland. So yeah, that's a bit of an issue. Most of the free agents are much too old. The couple that aren't much too old for the most part are just relievers that are out there. And more importantly, we know next to nothing about these players. So I'm spending some time requesting scouting reports and trying to upgrade the information that we know on these guys. And you can see that we're getting there. So it's going to pick up. It's going to work out. We'll get along the way and know what we need to know about these players soon enough. But in the meantime, we've got to kind of just keep pumping away on it and trying to figure it out. We do know a bit of information now about Conforto, and Conforto is 3.5. I've already taken a look at him, and he does look like a pretty solid player at 28, but he's looking for like 13 million or something. So at this point, not looking to do that. On players that I knew a little bit about that had a little bit of potential, lots of minor league deals have been offered, though a few guys have shot us down and said hell no, but that doesn't faze me at all. Trying to build that depth within the minor league system with the potential, with some players that are somewhat capable now, even if they're not going to be major league talent, they might be part of trade packages, as we long ago discovered that trying to trade the half-star guys, they're completely worthless. Once they get to a couple stars potential, then you're actually working with something. So a lot of relievers in that 1 to 2 star range that I've sent some offers out to, that we knew a fair bit about. They weren't the random ones that we have no scouting knowledge on. So that could and should help us out a bit. But in the meantime, I am going to keep requesting the scouting reports. Kimbrel, I think I'm worried about. Yeah, at 33, it's more he'd be available for trades. So we've gone from very low to a low on a lot of these guys now. Looks like Archer, as we're getting an average, still showing up as a 3.5 star guy, though he's 33. Here's one where things have changed. Baez was seen as a 4-star guy. Now we see him as a 3.5 star guy, and this is why it's important to do this. Let's keep going on this. Doesn't take them too long to hammer these out for us. We did manage to get some awards. Believe it or not, as bad as the season was, as bad as we are as a team, there are still some bright spots. First off, got a Gold Glove, first base, but more importantly, Rookie of the Year. Kalinic, even though he missed the final month and a half, 2 months of the season, and that really, really cost us some wins down the stretch where we were doing pretty good up not pretty good. Better. Up till that point, when he went down, that really, really cut us out. A lot of contract negotiation updates. And most of these are just hooray and we'll see you soon. Just a few negatives. And again, they don't faze me. Okay, here we go. First handful of contracts are signed. Rodriguez, Batista, Ora Espinoza, Clark, De Los Reyes. Alright, so we've added a little depth. We're starting to get there. And back into those transactions. Okay, now I'm starting to know a little bit about some of these guys. Darwinson was a 5-star guy. Now all of a sudden he was a 4.5, 5. Now he's a 4, 4.5. But at just 24, he's got great stuff. He just doesn't have much control. Hard to hit. But will walk quite a few guys. Okay, Morton's pretty good, but he's 38. That's a real concern for a team like ours. Correa is one that I'm definitely looking at going, maybe we want to go after Correa. Quality is quality. And if you have the money, you take the quality. And we could do what we did last year. We could turn right around and trade somebody. Alright. I think the best thing to do here is do it this way. Continue to request scouting reports. Okay, did Presley already sign? He did. Alright, I think we're starting to get a few guys to sign their life away, so before long we need to start taking action. But again, the knowledge drastically increased with these guys. Even Kimbrell's coming down now. Some of these guys are starting to drop down the list. Fragile. Yeah, that's not good. 25, durable. Let's get something on you. With potential. Somebody from the minor leagues, but still. Okay, just pushed us forward a few more days. Suna signing already. This is why it's time. I need to get active with whatever. We have signed a few more guys. All minor league stuff, I think. Alright, list is a little shorter for multiple reasons. One, I'm getting to know a few of the players and the potential the levels are dropping. I still only have the two that we really know right now, and Conforto is tempting to sign, even though I have some outfield depth currently, just for growth and or trade bait. We have an offer in on Hernandez, as bullpen guys are cheap, even though we don't know a ton. He's good. Again, Correa and Baez are tempting because of the age, though I think Baez just had a birthday. I believe he was 28 the other day. But I need to at least have average knowledge on those guys before I would be willing to pull the trigger. Okay, a bunch of updates. Rizzo going to the Nationals. I was tempted there, but too old, and that's a problem. We're into the winter meetings. Oh, well, there goes Correa to Houston. Back with Houston. Its owner has passed away. Alright. Well, the list just got a lot shorter. We have not signed anyone yet. So, Baez is an option. Let's see where we're at on shortstop right now. DeJong, and even 3 stars. Cole Tucker, also 3 stars. And that's one reason why you don't necessarily want a shortstop right now. Zach McKinstry been playing at second, also 3 stars. Shed Long now at third base. Yeah, not much of a difference positionally. And he's got a decent arm. I think that brings a good balance to our infield. But look how deep I am. I mean, I've got 6 guys already in the outfield. Rojas, 2.5, 3. Kalinic, of course, the big star. Florial. We'll be able to move Florial on now. We picked him up through Rule 5 this last season. Malik Smith just re-signed a new deal through arbitration. He's a 2.5. Lewis is a 2.5. Fraley is a 2.5 with 3 potential and excellent defense. So I think Lewis or Smith and Florial, 1 or 2 of those 3 guys are going to be trade bait. I think we're mostly all young. 27, 22, 24, 28 for Smith, 26, and 26. So Malik Smith actually, as the old man in the bunch, I think is likely going to be the one to make way first. The pitching staff is going to need some help. So that kind of puts the spotlight on Conforto again as a good outfielder, player, good contact guy, and still pretty young, 28. Rojas, much better gap power. Plays a multitude of positions. Good speed. I don't know, it's hard to justify signing Hall of Fame voting. Well, let's do it. I don't think we have... Alright, our year 2 ballot for Hall of Fame. 27 players on the ballot this year. And we have a number of first year guys. I'm trying to see what's... You got Ramirez, who was at 36%. So the highest returning one is just 36%. Alright, so we've got Mark Burley, their Hall of Fame metrics, which I wish I knew a little more about those. .45 WAR. We got a 59 for Todd Helton, who's a fourth-year guy. 3 Gold Gloves, 5-time All-Star, 316 hitter. He's a definite contender. Tim Hudson, surprisingly good stat line. All things considered, Tim Hudson is never somebody I looked at as a top-notch player. He was always one of the better players in the league. But it looks like he was pretty dang consistent to be able to have those kind of numbers, because he was never somebody you looked at as a top guy. I mean, I'd say he had maybe a year in Oakland, right, where Oakland, with their Billy Bean approach, spent that couple years rebuilding, and then all of a sudden, bam, back in the playoffs, and then go on a couple years rebuilding, never doing it with a budget or anything like that. Tim Hudson was one of those key pieces to a pretty deep run by Oakland one season, but outside of that, I think you never looked at him more than maybe just top 5 or just top 10 in the league. Andrew Jones really fell off. He had such a great start to his career. David Ortiz, there's a contender. Playoff Series MVP award, 10-time All-Star. Big Papi. While he only hit .286, 541 career home runs, 1,400 runs, 1,700 RBI. I'm probably going to go with a yes for David Ortiz. The ballot has just one shoe-in player in Alex Rodriguez. A-Rod, as much as I could not stand A-Rod at the end of his career, I don't think the term douchebag is inappropriate here at all when it comes to Alex Rodriguez. There was hardly a player in the league anywhere near remotely close to as annoying as he was. And yeah, I do hate the Yankees. It's the rival team of Seattle. So, okay. For those that are Yankees fans, which obviously they've got the most support of any team, money buys support. Especially in the U.S. Seems to have an effect. But anyway, I know he's popular. And I actually did have a soft spot for him. I watched him come up into the league. I watched him as a rookie in person multiple times. I hated it when he moved to Texas for a massive amount of money. I thought it was a real sight of things to come, and it turns out that it was exactly that. He was the best shortstop in the game in Seattle. He was the biggest paid player in the league in Texas. Not the best. The money really took his edge away, and in New York he was just total douchebag, but he still put up the numbers, the body of work throughout his career. I have to. He's a shoo-in. Okay, that's one. But after that, I've got only 4 players that I'm looking at. Okay, 5 players that I was looking at all. A couple that I'm already kind of going, yeah, probably no. Okay, let's start with the probably no's and get those out of the way. So we have Todd Helton. 4th ballot, quarter of the votes are there. Todd Helton, 316 average, but that's a Colorado thing. That's a hitter's ballpark. He didn't do enough. He was good. Not Hall of Fame. So that's off the list. He's out. Then we're looking at Gary Sheffield. 8th ballot, 29%. Similar on that. 292, so not quite 300. 2,600 hits. Okay, not 3,000 hit club. He did get to the 500 homer club, 509 home runs. Decent amount of stolen bases, but just 1,600 runs, 1,600 RBI, 9-time All-Star, yes. But it's like he was always just good enough to make the All-Stars over and over again every year. Body of work is good. It's solid. But for me, it's not enough. It's not enough. Not the Hall of Fame. So, exclude those 2. That leaves me with 3 guys. Okay. Got Big Papi. First ballot. Okay. I know people you take that into account, and I don't understand why, unless your list is full. You voted for all that you could vote for, and you can't vote for any more. Then maybe I would take into account how many years they've been on the ballot. 286 is not great, but for a power hitter, not a 3-hole guy, a 4-hole guy, you got to look at some other areas. 2,400 hits, 541 home runs, 1,400 runs. Kind of looking at that going, oh, that's really actually not that great, is it? 10-time All-Star, had the look, but really wasn't actually that great. And maybe he's not going to make the Hall of Fame in real life or here. So, no, I don't think so. Manny Ramirez. numbers are actually better. Okay, we're on 6th ballot. 300 career hitter. Better slugging percentage. 2,500 hits. 550 club. 1,500 runs. 1,800 RBI. So he still didn't crack the 2,000 mark, but he is a little bit better than these guys, I think. I think him versus Gary Sheffield, I'd rather have Manny Ramirez batting for me than Sheffield. Especially Sheffield was a right fielder without a glove, without an arm. Not that Manny Ramirez was exactly known for his glove either. But I'd take him over Sheffield in my lineup any day. Even though there's only subtle differences. So, right now, the only one I'm thinking of is Manny Ramirez. But I said there was 5. That's 4. One more player to look at. And that's Omar Vizquel. Boy, oh boy, does he deserve a conversation. His batting stats, not Hall of Fame. Not Hall of Fame. He's in the conversation for defense. 11 gold gloves. 3-time All-Star, despite never putting up the numbers. He's one of the best defenders the league's ever seen. And he was a good enough hitter to stay a starter and stay in the lineup for a number of different teams throughout his career. And he was exciting to watch. And he was old and still contributing. 272. Yeah, it's not great. He almost made the 3,000 hit club. If he did, you got to figure he's a shoo-in. He only hit 80 home runs for his career. 400 stolen bases, though. That's up there. 1,400 runs. There's another. If he would have made it to the 1,500 run club, maybe that makes him a shoo-in. Didn't get to 1,000 RBI. I think maybe that's where you draw the line, right? It's like not quite 3,000, not quite 1,500, not quite 1,000. Any of those, that little bit higher, any one of those 3 makes it into those clubs, right? 400 stolen base club. There's one. But measured at 22 wins above replacement is just not quite enough. The 11 gold gloves probably should have had more. That's what almost gets him in. And for me, almost closer than any of the other guys here. But that's it. A-Rod. That's my list. And that pains me because it's A-Rod, who I absolutely loathe. A-Rod. But that's my ballot. I'm going to jump forward much further into the off season before we get to the next episode. Looks like we're not going to get really any signings, as there's virtually nothing in the free agent market this year, which sucks for us. We're going to have plenty of money to play with still. We've got a good spot in the draft coming up, though could have been better. And I'm definitely adding some depth to our minor leagues. There's a bit more there now. And hopefully these guys will develop. Most of them are young. There's plenty of potential. They played a lot worse than they could have or should have played this last season. So much worse. So hopefully with another year, some development, I think maybe we can pull it along. I mean, the Rainiers, they pulled it together a little bit after 4 wins out of 100. They went 6-34 the rest of the way, which is still atrocious, but better. Double A was awful. High A was awful. A was awful. Low, yeah, bad. Here's our shining stars. Was the changes that I made are showing themselves up at the bottom of the system. So it'll get better. This is bad. It's so bad. And yet somehow we were a game above the Rangers. At least there was that. I've learned a couple things, made a difference, especially in the hiring practices. Before, I was just going for a reputation, thinking reputation meant better coach because that was really all they were giving me. There's so much more to it, and it came down to how you're searching for the coaches that you're hiring. And in that, I found the trick. Who's going to actually help the players develop? Here you need the best coaches for the team to win. Here we need the ones that are going to provide the best development. And that's where we're going to get these guys down here, these teams, where they are performing, because I'm drafting well and I'm signing well. How I can get those players to actually develop and fill this out and actually become the players we need them to be up here. And not just by promoting them to the senior team in order for them to develop. So I'm figuring things out a bit at a time. And like I said, I'm going to move forward into the late stages of the off-season. And that does it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button. And I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. And bye for now.